This is truly such an important topic as we talk about cancer risks, not just breast cancer, but ovarian cancer, and what Angelina Jolie has really done for all of us. I've got some fabulous women from the Cooper Cancer Institute here today, and we've had surgeon, Dr. Kristen Brill, and now we're joined by Dr. Corey McMahon, who's here, and you're sort of, I said that you're the mind and you're the body. So we have the surgeon, right. And you would work together, in other words, if you had a patient, because you would be the psychological aspect to walk somebody through this. Is that correct?
It's correct, yeah, and I really appreciate the opportunity to bring the psychological piece to the table. Oftentimes I think that goes by the wayside and we don't pay attention to it. The obvious is the need to make sure that we're attending to someone's medical health, and the mental health comes along with it and is equally important, of course, from my perspective.
Well, that's the thing, a lot of people might not, I've actually heard women say, oh, I could never have my breasts removed. And it's like, what are you talking about? You could, if you need a lumpectomy, get it. But this is deep stuff. It's primitive stuff with women, right? I mean, yes. Our fertility, our image as a woman,
For sure. This is a life-changing decision that a woman will make. And that has, of course, very positive health consequences and also very challenging psychological consequences potentially.
So if a woman has her breasts or her ovaries removed, I mean, do you get, I'm sure you must get, well, I'm not a woman anymore.
Of course.
Or I mean, that's...
I think many fear the impact it has on personal relationships and so forth, and so they'll look to their spouse, their partner, to get a sense on how they would react to this and how that'll impact with interpersonal relationships.
Yeah, good support from the partner and involvement from the partner is from the very beginning, including with genetic testing is really important. Support from family, and one of the most important pieces is that a woman gathering all of this information from her surgeon, from a genetics counselor, and from others, feels as though she's making this decision on her own. And if she's able to do that, then her psychological adjustment post-surgery will be much better.
So from your standpoint, to have somebody who's probably the most, if not one of the most beautiful women in the world, to say, I'm doing this, and guess what? I'm still beautiful. That's got to help that's got to help you on a daily basis with seeing patients.
Absolutely. I think she's a wonderful role model in so many respects, and I appreciate that she's been willing to share this very personal, very intimate experience with the world, for sure. I think this will potentially give other women the courage to come forth and to discuss their concerns. From my perspective, a lot of the concerns that I get to discuss with patients are very intimate. Concerns about body image, how they'll feel about themselves after surgery, concerns about their intimate relationships with their partners and how those will change, are very important pieces that women are often afraid to bring up, especially with medical professionals. And those are critical topics to discuss and need to be a regular standard piece to the discussion after surgery and ongoing.
I mean, what would you say to that woman who's watching right now who knows that she needs to get a mammogram? She's 35, 40, maybe she has a family history, maybe she doesn't, but that she's afraid to go or she's afraid to know. What would you say to that woman?
The line we use is power, knowledge is power. And so it can take some of the fear of the unknown and some of the gamble out of it so that it's more in their control. And I think for a lot of women, just feeling that they've got control of the situation doesn't mean they immediately sign up to have preventative or prophylactic surgery, but just knowing that they're being watched more carefully. Some women say, I know I've got this mutation, I know what my risk is, I'll think about doing something the moment something happens. I'm diagnosed with something. Not everyone does it preventatively or prophylactically. Some will make that decision at the time that they're actually diagnosed. Everyone is different.
For sure. I think one of the other important pieces to know, if you look at kind of the research from my world, from psychologists, is that the greater distress is for women who know or may suspect that they're at high risk for breast cancer. All of the cancer-related worry that comes along with that, wondering when will I get the cancer, how bad will it be, what kind of treatment will I have to go through if I do get cancer.
Just that worry.
Will it end my life? That type of distress before the testing, before the knowledge, is much greater than after surgery. And we actually see that the anxiety related to cancer goes down significantly after the decision is made and after the surgery itself.
Yeah, I was going to say that a lot of women experience that the anxiety of decision making and information gathering prior to, and what I typically see is the moment they get to that point, they've had surgery, I rarely see a woman say, I wish I hadn't done it, or this is not the right choice for me. I don't know that I've ever seen that. Women seem to, once they get to that point and make that decision, seem to be very comfortable with
And then they
the
can
follow
own it.
through. Yeah.
Did it surprise you as a psychologist, the people who criticized Angelina Jolie and said, "Oh, she just wants the attention"? Or something. I mean, that surprised me. But was it surprising to you?
Not surprising. I think it's easy to criticize anyone in the spotlight for decisions, and I think some of that criticism may come from fear. From fear. I think that once someone puts something out there that's such a hot topic and such a difficult topic emotionally, it makes all of us look in the mirror and wonder about our own lives and our own health decisions. So it's maybe easier to criticize.
So maybe the people being criticized, we can learn from that sometimes when we criticize like that, we're actually dealing with our own fears. That's interesting.
It's possible.
Yeah, for me, I have to say, because I am at risk, and since I was in my early 30s, I had mammograms, and then this made me realize I missed my mammogram. I haven't had it for 2 years. So for me personally, because you can do that. Your insurance changes, or your job's changing, or the kids, or whatever, and it's easy sometimes to let those things go.
For sure.
The secret to breast cancer, and breast cancer is a very survivable cancer, but the secret really is catching it early. So for women who are due for their mammogram, they need to not avoid it and be in for their routine mammogram.
Yeah, so I promise I'll get it. I promise, Dr. Patty McConnell. She's like, call me up. All right, we'll be right back. This is why I love my job, because I learn something every day. To have you fabulous doctors from the Cooper Cancer Institute here today is a real privilege, and I hope that everybody watching learned as much as I did, because I think it's such an important conversation that women and families should have.
Yeah, I think it's important to encourage women, if they think that they may be at risk, or think that they have a family history worthy of investigating, really gather all the information, rely on their doctors for information that's pertinent to them, and investigate. It doesn't need to be a scary topic.
Well, and I love what I love about the Cooper Cancer Institute is it's one-stop shopping. You have all the experts right here. So, and you're also beautiful. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you
Have
so
a great
much.
one, everybody.